Right now is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, time to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or at least that I've seen the past decade of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Um, we're sort of in between when the game gets real again, because Link summoning is in effect now. That's what we're profiling today. But Code of the Duelist isn't out, so the only Link monsters we have are the ones that come from the starter deck, and they're not super powerful. Well, they're pretty good. It's just that there's no really generic one besides Decode Talker, and this one takes 3 monsters to make. So it's kind of awkward to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. However, I think this deck's a lot of fun, and it's probably like the only like fun rogue deck that I've come up with to play with links before Code of the Duelist comes out. So today I wanted to show you Cyberse Phantom Knights, I guess is what I'm calling it. There's actually a lot of synergy here that I'll kind of talk about as we get into it. But anyway, yeah, so you can make this if you have just like a regular Phantom Knight deck lying around, as well as 3 structure decks. So we're playing on the paper mat today in honor of the new mechanic. Anyway, enough talking, let's get into the list. We have 3 silent boots, that's sort of the main one, 2 cloak, and 2 gloves. I'm not playing 3 of both of these guys. We have a lot of normal summons in this deck, so I wanted to cut back on it a little bit. You don't really need to use you don't really need to go through 9 to win, because we have a lot of other effects that help us win. And also, it's not as easy to like spam Leviers anymore because of the link mechanics. So just those 7. The next card, and the card that made me want to build this deck in the first place, is Draconet. Or Draco Connect? I don't know, it's like Draco and Connect, it's whatever. This guy's really cool. So he's basically a tour guide for any Link monster because, well, I guess not Decode Talker. So when you normal summon him, you can special summon a level 2 or lower normal from your deck, or hand, so it doesn't even matter if you draw the normals. And he's also level 3 Dark, which is really cool because then you can overlay with all of the Phantom Knights to make stuff. And you can banish him for Allure of Darkness if you draw multiples. I like this card a lot. He's 1 card Honeybot or the Spider, so he comes up a lot. He's really like the main card that you want to open. I don't really think there's anything else that you'd want to play besides the new Bitron guy, because he's a Cyberse monster. That's like the main reason that we're using this guy is to make Honeybot and the Spider. I guess you could play any normal to make the Spider, but for the Honeybot, you need 2 Cyberse monsters, so this is what we're going with. One other cool thing you can do, maybe I'll do this in a later deck profile, is you can summon this guy to summon Galaxy Serpent and then make Denglong, and that's, I don't know if that's super applicable, but something to think about. Anyway, 3 of this guy. Even if you draw them, it's not that bad, because you can use the Spider to special summon them from the hand. One card that I thought I wouldn't like a lot, but that I actually love right now at least, is Link Slayer. So basically, this card, you can special summon him if you have no monsters, and then you can discard up to 2 cards, pop back row. So he's really cool for a lot of reasons. It's not just a Photon Thrasher, it's also a Cyberse monster, so you can go into Honeybot and with it, which is really neat. And then the back row effect is really good going second, and for getting your Phantom Knights in the graveyard. So I like this guy a lot. And he has 2000 attack, which is kind of relevant. But he's just really good, because like your main opening, though, I mean, one of the better openings is when you have both of these guys in your opening hand, because then you can basically just make whatever, you can pretty much just make all the Link monsters that are in the game right now off those 2 cards, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, though, so 3 of that guy, especially good going second against back row. 1 of the Ram, I don't know how this card's like great or anything. It is cool though, because you can bring back, you can tribute Phantom Knights to bring back your Link monsters. Which is especially cool, not necessarily with Decode Talker, because it doesn't have any horizontal arrows, but for bringing back Honeybot, it's pretty neat, because you can like bring back the Honeybot and put it like 2 zones over, so you have a space in between it and the Honeybot, and then you can summon 2 extra deck monsters, so I like that a lot. But it takes a tribute, so we're only playing 1. We're playing 3 Gofu. I think a lot of decks will be playing 3 Gofu until it gets hit, like in OCG. Just because Gofu makes, it's a 1 card Decode Talker, but also it gets you to 2 Link Spiders if you'd rather do that. It just does like literally everything, so it's a good starter card. In this deck, you can make Omega with it, which is pretty neat as well. Because then you can, so basically you can make Omega and then use the tokens for Spiders, which is neat. Hand traps, 1 Max C, 1 Ash Blossom. Sorry, the camera went out of focus. Hopefully it wasn't out of focus for like 5 hours. Ash Blossom Max C, 2 Ghost Ogre. Zoo is still really good right now because you can still do your basic Chakanine combo that ends with Hammer Kong Trident without using any Link monsters, which is kind of ridiculous. But the hand traps are good to stop them. A lot of decks right now are just a lot less able to put out so many monsters. So if you can stop like their one play with one of these, you're usually in a pretty good spot. For the spells, 3 Lore of Darkness. So we have all the Phantom Knight monsters, and then we also have the Draco Net guy. So you definitely want to power through your cards there. Drawing cards is really neat. 2 Potted Desires. We don't have like a ton that we care about banishing. And this deck doesn't have... I mean, your first turns can be kind of rough sometimes, just because you don't have like a ton of cards at plus. A lot of them you're just like minusing to make Link monsters, which is good. I mean, it's all right. But you definitely just want to see free cards, so Desires. I mean, it's not like you're going to resolve all of your Phantom Knight effects anyway, and it's not like you're going to special summon 3 normal monsters every game. The games just don't go that long, so it doesn't really matter if you banish them. 2 DDR. This is like one of the best cards to draw. I'd be probably playing 3 if I had other discard targets besides the Phantom Knights. But anytime that you can open like a Lore and DDR, it's really broken, so I like that card a lot. One of the Rank of Magic, so you can do this if you don't even have a Link monster, because it just all takes one, it all just takes the one extra monster zone, because if you overlay your Exceed monsters on top of Exceed monsters, you don't need Link markers or anything, so that card's really good. And also, Requiem Dragons is like really unfair, it just creates win scenarios when they otherwise wouldn't be possible, and no one sees it coming. We have 1 Rhoda, 1 Foolish, 1 Soul Charge. I like Soul Charge a lot in this deck. Soul Charge isn't that great in decks that only Exceed Summon, but it is particularly useful in decks that Synchro Summon and now Link Summon, because you put both monsters in the graveyard and then you can just Soul Charge both of them back, where with Exceed Summoning, a lot of times you're only bringing 1 back, because you can't there's a lot of decks that can't detach both materials like super fast. So I really like Soul Charge. Regeki is also very good. I think a lot of people are going to start playing Mind Control, but I'm definitely playing it. Mind Control is just really powerful because you can steal your opponent's Link monsters and then get their markers. And in this deck, because we're playing Honeybot, I don't know if every deck's been playing that, but if you steal your opponent's Decode Talker, you can then use it with any of your Cyberse monsters to make Honeybot, and then they don't have the Talkers, then they can't special summon cards. It's pretty neat, so I like Mind Control a lot. I think a lot of people are going to play Mind Control. I almost thought about playing Econ as well, but I don't think we need it in this deck. Maybe if I was playing like Burning Abyss monsters. Anyway, the only traps we're playing are 3 Fogblade. I thought about playing Wing, but I really want to keep it to a 40-card deck. And you don't really want to search things besides this, so usually you don't notice like that Wing's gone. So anyway, that's the whole main deck. For the extra deck, we do have 2 Decode Talker. This is sort of your main boss monster. It's actually really annoying when you have this card on the field, because you can just keep tributing stuff to stop your opponent's effects. No, you can't tribute your opponent's monsters. That's not how it works. That keeps getting asked in judge groups. Yeah, it's just a good card. It's a good card to have, and you can put your Phantom Knight Exceed monsters next to it or whatever. And yeah, I like this card. It's a solid Link monster. The more important one, though, is Honeybot. So the cards that are linked to this guy can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. That's actually just really stupid. The fact that it gives you 2 extra deck spots is really cool as well, but mainly the fact that anything that's next to it, even if they're not extra deck monsters, just can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. That's really stupid. I don't know, it's just... Oh, sorry, you can't target them with card effects. My mistake. I'm sure a ton of you already commented. Yeah, you can't target them with card effects, and you can't destroy them by battle. So I guess you can still Regeki. But you can't, like, Dryad and pop them. You can't do any of that shit. So this card's really good. I like it. And you can only make it with Cyberse monsters, so it makes it a little harder to summon, which, but our deck has a lot of Cyberse monsters, so it's okay. We're only playing, the only 3 of an extra is Link Spider. Originally I was just playing 2, but when you draw Gofu, you go through 2 of them immediately, and then you want the 3rd one in your extra deck for when you draw the level 3 guy to summon the normal from deck. But this card's really easy to make, and it doesn't give you a ton of value because you only have it pointing down. But yeah, I like this card. It's pretty cool, and it's one of the more useful Link monsters, especially as the game goes on, just because it's so easy to make. It's just it only takes 1 card. For the other cards, we have 2 Levier. I like this card at 3 a lot, but there's no extra deck space anymore, and also with the way that, like, with Link summoning and restricting you, you just can't make 3 of this card, like, ever. So just 2 is fine. 1 Nightmare Shark, just for winning games that you shouldn't win. 1 Dante. We don't have, like, a ton that we want to mill, but there certainly are games where you want to make Dante. More so just because Dante's the only rank 3 that we play that can detach Exceed material without requiring like any setup. Because Nightmare Shark you can't detach on the first turn, Levier you have to have a banished monster, and then Break Sword, which is the last rank 3, obviously you have to like pop cards to do that. So Dante's good because if you need to detach something, he's the way to go. Yeah, just one Break Sword though, we don't really need more than one. One regular Rebellion Exceed, and then one Requiem. Like I said, this card's just actually unfair. And most of your opponents won't even know this is coming, so when you summon it, they just like lose the game immediately, so that's pretty cool. And don't forget that you can search the rank up magic card with Ancient Cloak, so that's sort of relevant. And the last card is 1 Omega. I like this card a lot. I don't know if it's like overpowered in Link format, or Link with Link mechanics. I don't think it's overpowered. It just isn't hurt by them, because when you banish it, it just comes back to the main monster zone, not the extra monster zone. And that's kind of cool, so you can just do stuff with that. But a lot of times, that's not super relevant in terms of like getting it off on your first turn, because you really want to put cards back with it. I don't know. If you have like a play where you can like make this, banish it, and then summon more Link monsters, I guess you do that. But generally speaking, I kind of want to end with this guy so that I can get a value off its graveyard or returning to the graveyard effect. But yeah, so that was the deck profile. There are other decks that I want to do with Link summoning. I had a vote on my Patreon page, and some of the two most popular ones were Yang Zing Dinosaurs and Fluffles. I can probably do the Yang Zing Dinosaur one when I get back from my vacation, but because I have some cards coming in the mail. But for the Fluffle one, I'm gonna have to wait until Code of the Duelist is released, because you need the Earth Link monster to make off Seraphinite. Otherwise, the deck is not playable. But anyway, this deck is pretty fun. I don't know if it's like the most competitive thing, but for right now, for the next 2 weeks, if you're just going to like locals events and everyone sold their zoo, you want to play something fun that's actually pretty good, this is the way to go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I'll see you later.